Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with a brand deck profile, and this time we'll be covering the new Blitz CEO uh, Welstra. So this is probably a different way of building the deck, while a lot of people thinking of what is the most optimal idea to actually build the deck. And you have to put it first. This deck list that I'm going to show you is not made by me. It's by a Japanese player using his Twitter account called First. So I saw this deck online while I'm helping my friend to look into some interesting Welstra build and come into this one. And after we playtested, it's so fun, and some of the idea actually did make a lot of sense. So I message the builder of this deck, and he allows me to actually do the deck profile on my channel. So thanks him for that. And he do have an upgraded version, so I will put the upgraded version link in the description below, so you can see what's the actual upgrades that he made after playing with this build. But so far I'm still happy to actually using this build, and this time I'm using my friend's cards because I don't have the brand card. So thanks for him to giving me the chance to borrow the deck to do the deck profile, because I think it's still a little bit better than just opening a deck log and do it, right? So let's talk about the right line. If you have seen the thumbnail, you will see that I'm actually here that we are using the Graphidia Grade 3, and the reason is mainly for quite a few things. One, for your Grade 2 Blitz card to actually work, you don't need your CEO to be a Grade 3 to ride on, because for him, he just say when this unit is being ride, you can put a product from your order zone to drop, and then from deck or hand to find a grade 2 product, set it to your order zone, and if you search from deck, shuffle the deck, if you put from hand, draw one. So you don't need to go through CEO for that. And the grade 2 product that I probably should show you right now did have a skill that's saying when a grade 3 unit is riding on top of a grade 3, then you can put this guy to the drop and then search for the grade 3 fortress order to set it down from hand or from deck. So the main dish of playing the product deck is having the grade 3 fortress out, and your first grade 3 turn, you're not going to get it, usually, unless you play the other grade 1 that did pay a lot of cost, even retiring that unit out in order to bring one out. That's really costing you too much, and you don't get a lot of return from it. So how are we going to fill this little gap? For one turn, we use Meteor. Now this card allows you to search for 2 meteors, right? So you can do different combinations. If you don't have any meteor, then you can go for a grade 1 meteor and a grade 2 meteor. By doing so, on a turn you only get to draw one from this. You don't get any draw from the grade 2 meteor, but you can simply activate the Carlos 1, discard total number of 3 meteor to gain a crit, and also your 15k. So that's enough of a threat compared to CEO relying only on the grade 2 orders, right? Or if you already have one in hand or already played one before, you can actually search 2 more meteor. By doing that, you still have the 3, and you get to draw 2 soul charge 2 if you want to soul charge. And not only this play fill in the gap while you are waiting your grade 2 product to become the grade 3 fortress, you are also gaining more cards in hand. by playing the Meteor. So this gives you one turn to push to drop your opponent's resources while you are still gaining resources to survive for a turn or even build up for the next turn, right? So to me this is actually a very good idea, because we have been like playing with putting CEO in the right deck, and it just like we did a lot of extra things to bring the Meteor Fortress out, but not having a lot of stuff because we need to retire a lot of units and we need to refill them back, and like you just don't get a lot of benefit from it, and you probably will just activate your products like once or twice, so the power gain is not good enough as well, and it's not with a crit. So using Graffitia is actually helping us so much that I can tell. Now, after going through this, let's go into the main deck. And since we take out CEO from the right deck, we actually have 4 CEO in the main deck. Because he is still the card that you want to write next, we are not going for a Meteor deck, so we don't use any more Graffitia bravery. We are using full CEO. And the main thing with this deck, one of the weak points, is that if you don't draw into at least one of the CEO, this deck will likely just stop after the turn you write from the right deck with your Graffitia, because you won't have any extra Meteor usually, maybe one, but basically that's it. So that won't give you any crit, and even after you use those, you have none, and your Graffitia will just be a vanilla. So you do need to try the mulligan to find at least one of the CEO. So after your pressure turn with Graffitia, you go into CEO, you turn all your creative products into Meteor Fortress, and do your normal multiple attack plays, high attack punches, all the stuff from your CEO. And CEO can activate a product during the battle phase, so that allows your 4th attack to do multiple attacks, and he gains power through the times you activate your product. So at least 18k will be 23k if you activate 2 times, but it depends on you. You really have like 2 fortress to like clear your opponent's board, minus 5k each per fortress on their opponent's Vanguard. They will have a hard time fighting CEO. Yeah, but again, the weak point of CEO is your first great return with just CEO will do nothing if you go from the right deck. So again, that's why we are using Graffitia here. Okay, and next we are running 2 of the Blitz Secretary Pervy. So she is a card that is a bit weird from the set with zero support, because she's only on play skill, but you can counterblast 1 to put a grade 2 or higher order set order card from a drop to the bottom of your deck and draw 1. Now this mainly we use it to recover our grade 2 product, so we can get to draw, and sometimes if we just have a fortress go to do the damage and heal, then you at least can put 1 back and you can search it from the deck, right? So she has her uses, but the thing is she's only on place, and being a triple rare is a bit strange if you ask me. And I can see a lot of people actually trying not to use her, because like if I don't have any set order in the drop, do I play her if I have her in hand? If I play her, she will just be a vanilla at all, because it's an on play skill. If I keep her, am I going to push enough? So that's the part that we are having struggle. But using this build, because we do draw a lot of cards back, and sometimes we do have some spare counterblast we can use, so she have her spot in here. And then next, free of the Blitz engineer Hofleo. So he is a card that helps you to activate your product, so you can actually do it 2 times with CEO, so you can minus a total of 10k to opponent's Vanguard and having both of the fortress out to play. And he also get a 5k plus if you have activated any product, so it can be a 13k, but the 8k base is still a little bit weak, so you only usually play him while you really need to activate product another time, because it's also a on-play skill. So do be careful to use him, but he is a good beater. And then your key counter charger, which is our this accounting manager Sodio. So he soul blast 1 to actually counter charge, and you soul charge with your meteor, so you should have enough souls to actually do all the plays that you need. Yeah, but we're only running 2 because the deck space is actually quite tight. And then we run one of the combined rusher, so this card can simply gain power because we play a lot of set orders as products, and meteor, before you shoot them out, they are still set orders, so you can simply get the 10k plus. And it is a card that when you are lacking attackers, you can still use it from drop, so it's quite important, but we don't have a lot of space, so we are only using 1 here. Alright, next, free of the Blitz mechanic Iskra. So she is yet another card that helps you to activate your products. So basically the goal here is whenever we get to CEO, we can try to activate our products 2 times, and even when you're in like Graphidia, while you're still on your grade 2 products, you can still actually use these cards to activate your grade 2 products, so you can still get to pop something in the front row, or have a chance to minus 5k to your opponent's Vanguard, so you still get to hit something, right? And then for PGs, if you have the promo PG, feel free to put 1 in. I think from his list he did use that order, but because my friend don't have it, so we just keep it as the non-starter PG. But if you do have one, feel free to chuck them in. Now, the main dish is the actually orders and the ratios that we're playing. 2 of the fortress, 4 of the grade 2, 1 of the cannon, 1 grade 2 meteor, and 3 of the meteor grade 1. So let's talk about the meteor first. This is the kind of the minimal that you can put in this deck to guarantee 2 effects. One is, as I said in the opening, like very early stage, that you can, when you go into Graphidia, you don't have any meteor sets, you can do this combo and make it free. And while having this, you still get to actually have 1 in your hand or already placed on the set order zone and put 2 more, so you always get to have 3. That's the minimal you can get, because if you just go with like this, if one of them goes to the damage, you're doomed. If you go with this, if this goes to the damage, you can't get 3. So by doing 3 and 1, you are always kind of guaranteed yourself to be able to reach 3. It also, if you really have this kind of bad luck, then no one can save you. So you just put in the minimum or meteor order, so it affects us also the minimum, and also we are trying to kind of reducing the chances it goes to our hand, even though we do want probably one of them get into our hand. but you don't want too much so that you can't guard it all, or maybe even you have to discard them to use a right deck. That's not what you want to see. Now, the Great One Cannon is a card that you can search through your right line with a Great One, but you need to wait until you ride on your Grade 2, so there's a chance that this cannon will actually go to the damage and you can't search anything, but we don't see much of a reason that we need to use more than one here, because having that, unless you are like spamming your resources to just keep activating your product, which you shouldn't be, it's just a way to thin your deck while having a chance to get your Grade 2 without actually having them in your hand. So that's basically it. And the Grade 2 product is actually the main card that you actually need to play 4 of, because what you always want to is when you go through the right line, you pick up a Grade 1, you place a Grade 2, and then when you go to Grade 3, you turn the Grade 1 into a Grade 2, and when you go into CEO, you turn 2 of your Grade 2 into 2 Grade 3s. That's your goal. So you always want to increase your chances to have 2 Grade 2 products on your field, so that whenever you write another Grade 3 on top, you can get to find both of your fortresses, then you can go full force. And that's also why we are running 2 of the fortress. Some people, if you are like making a more pure CO build, you probably will play 3 to even 4, so that you can kind of guarantee finding it. But in here, our deck is actually quite tight because we have 4 spaces used for Meteor, and even the non-order cards. You see we are running like 3 off, 2 off, 3 off, 1 off, 2 off, and these we have to run for sure, so we don't actually have a lot of space. So I think this ratio is actually quite optimal, so give it a try and see how it works for you. And then triggers, the main dish is the Renegade over trigger, because we are using Gravidia, so we always have a dream to, like, while we are plus 15k plus 1 crit, open a over trigger, we pump it to 4 and we pump it again to 8. Right? That's the dream. But even though we don't get to do that in here, we don't get to double it, but we still like double the double, but we can still get to turn the 2 into 4. That's very scary, right? So that is enough to basically win you any games, and you have that chance in you while using Gravidia and having 3 meteors. And even when you go into CEO, like a game that I actually play and showed it on my channel, that I need to push my opponents to like extra damages, and then I pull a crit first, put him to 2, and then over trigger, put him in that extra 4 damage to take, and that actually wins me the game. Of course, we shouldn't be relying on over triggers at all times, but it has its beauty, and compared to the generic ones, this is way better. And then the sewing crit, 4 of them, just in case you need 3 more crits, 4 of the 10k draws, and 4 heals. If you really want to try out the special heals, you can, but I don't see the need to, because this deck you are not playing a very long game for sure, because you use your meteor to squeeze a lot of orders out, and using products, you are squeezing a lot of products order cards out as well, so you will run out of cards very fast. And that's why we are like maximizing the crits that we can go for while still trying to get some kind of drawing power, and early game 50k is probably still better than 10k shields, so we are just using the normal heals. Yeah, so that's basically the deck bits, and I think I did explain all the stuff that I need to talk, but let me just show you a little bit stuff so you can understand what the deck will do. So we start with this, right? And we go into this, getting nothing, go into this, and then you will get your cannon, right? And here you will see if you have any of these. If you have one, just drop it, right? Or even this, that's fine as well. That's probably one of the most ideal setup that you can have, right? And from here, if you want to, you can feel free to actually activate the product to do some card exchange, because you do have your secretary if you want to like put the set order back to get extra draw, right? And from here, we will go into Gravidia. So in here, this is definitely going away and turning into the grade 2 products, right? And now if you have one, then you will do this, draw 2 for sure, soul charge 2 up to you, usually at least soul charge 1, or if you have none, then you go for this so that you can shoot a total of 3 for this one. So that's really up to you, okay? And hopefully you do have another one that you can play down, and then you shoot the meteor, right? Assuming you get none, because that probably the situation that will happen most. And the next turn, you go into a CEO and you put this 2 down, and you get 2 fortress, right? And then you start to do your plays, like playing this to return in a draw, play him, no, not him, this, activate it once, so you can actually, like, for example, probably like that, activate, bounce this back, pull one up, counter charge, and then you can just like swing with this, right? And then swing with this, activate, bounce, put this up, and swing, right? And the next turn, hopefully you get to person, right? Then this will be like beast, and this can go up, and since you bounced this already, you can do it again, or if you have this, then you can do the same, then like do this, but hopefully you can actually play another order, then you might even try to bounce it back and put one, which so far this did ask around that you should still be able to do the counter charge after you bounce him with the fortress, so this should still work, but if you want to play safe, then of course like have any of these units and have him stay at the back, and then just activate, bounce like that. That will be the most ideal situation. And you counter charge, and then you swing, and then you bounce again, play another one, and these 2 are just 36k per person, right? So they are just big enough. 20, let's see, no, 33k, my bad, 33k. And you also get percent here, you get the minus 10k to your opponent's Vanguard, and that will be like a very big power difference. And there's force range, so your opponents can't simply just drop a little card to survive for multiple turns. And usually 1 push, 2 push, 3 push, should have done it. Should be. Yeah. If you happen not to, then just depending on what you can continue to do and just keep repeating the process, then you should be able to win. Yeah. So I think that's it for all I need to tell about this deck profile. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Like this video if you like this idea. Share this out as well. Subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles like this, more fight videos, more unboxings, and of course do check out the upgraded version in the description with the actual deck builder, so you can also follow him as well if you want to. Then you can see the changes and see which one you like, and also feel free to comment which version you prefer to play with, so I can also see some like preference on which build people actually likes. Yeah, so that's it for this deck profile. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.